Hey, and welcome back to Beer Babies, the podcast journey where we try to find the best beer that money can buy. I'm your host, and my name's Will, and joining me back on the podcast, we've got Billy.
Hi guys, I'm Billy. I like a lot of beer.
We've also got Declan.
Hey, I'm Declan. I don't like any beer.
And I like some beers, but joining us today is a guy who hasn't really drunk much in the way of beer, and that is Jack Quigley. Jack, how we doing?
Good, thank you. How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm really, really good. This is actually your second run on Beer Babies, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm glad to be back. It's always good.
Yeah.
Broadening my horizons.
Yeah, I
with
think
these fantastic beers.
Declan's actually just reminded me it might actually be third. I think you were in season 1 as well. Is that correct?
Possibly. You have to go watch.
Yeah.
No. We don't watch season 1.
Will we call that
dark.
DC or
Yeah.
It's dark
Beer
times.
Babies
Yeah.
before Christ?
Yeah.
BBC.
Before craft.
BBBC.
Yeah.
Beer Babies Before Christ.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Anyway, Jack, we've got you back because last time you were on the podcast, we set ourselves a goal of trying to find the best gluten-free beer that money can buy. And I'm not sure if you can remember, but we settled on the Two Bays Pale Ale. And
Yeah. Two Bays was fantastic. Pale Ale was a ripper. I actually got it quite a few times after the podcast too. So yeah, it's really good.
And that's what we like to hear because really this podcast is about changing lives. And I'm glad to hear that we've done that. So what I thought we'd do today is we've actually sort of got two goals. And so what they are is we've bought a bunch of different beers from Two Bays. And they're all different types of beer. So I thought what we could do, Jack, is we could introduce you to a few different styles of beer. And you can maybe pick what your favourite type of beer is.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
And
Have a competition. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Battle
And
of the beers.
speaking of competition, I thought while we had this opportunity, it was a really good chance for us to actually stack up some gluten-free beers against their gluten-filled counterparts and actually see what the difference is. Because from our very extensive test last time, Two Bays was the best. And so we thought we should stack them up against a couple of the gluten-filled beers. So to start with, we're going to go with the Two Bays Pale Ale, which was actually your favourite beer last time, Jack.
Yeah, it was.
That'd be a good reference then. I'm excited.
I'm excited. This is going to be fun.
Was that the episode where Declan brought gluten?
Yeah, it's in there. It's the
I don't think
corner
you
over
were here.
No, I wasn't even here. So I don't think I've had this beer. So I'm
wow.
super duper excited.
Yeah.
Bill, can you
Very,
grab this?
very happy.
I can grab it.
So, just while you start pouring that out, Jack, I've actually got a little bit of information about Two Bays themselves to start with. So, Two Bays is a dedicated gluten-free brewery. They work exclusively with gluten-free malts like millet, buckwheat, and rice to brew all grain craft beers. They look to try and explore the new world of flavors. In order to brew great gluten-free beer, you need great gluten-free ingredients. So they source the finest gluten-free malts from world-leading craft malt houses in the US. But the reason they do that is because there's no dedicated gluten-free malt houses in Australia.
There's definitely no gluten in that. You can tell.
Right.
You can tell. And yeah, there's no head
It
compared to a
doesn't
normal beer either.
bind well together. It
Nah.
doesn't hold.
It's not sticky enough.
Is that, Declan, you can see the different particles floating
Yeah,
around.
it's not. This
Where's
is them
the bag of gluten?
slipping past each other. They're not holding each other together.
It's going to slip down so easy though, isn't that
So-
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
This is good. This is just a good. This is good pale ale. Is it what you remember, Jack?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What do you boys think?
It's better than some of the pale ales I've had before. I'm just thinking about. I've had some shit pale ales.
Yeah, and I
This
was
is a good
thinking it's actually pretty mild on the old pale ale scale. I think if people want to go back, we actually talked about. I think it was the XPA versus IPA episode. We actually talk about sort of the spectrum of pale ales, Indian pale ales, XPAs. And pale ales are sort of the bottom end as far as that like flavor intensity. So I think this is nice, easy starting point. Just ease us in, which is pretty good. What do you think, Bill?
It's pretty good. Like, I wouldn't know. There's no gluten in this. Like,
You would.
do you taste the difference?
Awesome.
No. Why aren't all beers gluten free?
Probably because they're
I
expensive.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm calling every beer company out that doesn't make gluten-free beers.
Okay,
Man.
while we're calling beers
Shook
out,
every
Billy,
camera at once.
while we're calling beers out, you were tasked with grabbing the pale ale that's going to go up against two bays.
The competitor. Okay, we've got that way. Well, so I've gone and got the Little Rivers Pale Ale because it's a good beer. I think this will be a good comparison. Deck, if you could pour that one out for us.
Into
Much obliged.
Jack doesn't need any. So
yeah, so we use this
No, it's
one.
all good.
Jack, you have to take our word for it.
Do you want to have a
Yeah.
sip, Jack? You sure?
Yeah, I'll be sitting on the sidelines for the comparison, but I'm interested to hear the difference because
I'm going to be
You can
very
drink out of
surprised
the
because
bottle.
I've had a couple of
the
these.
bottle. Oh, no.
I've had a couple of these today, and
yeah,
I think I like the two bays better.
interesting. We'll find out.
So I've done some research on the Little Rivers. So Little Rivers is a local brewer we have in Tasmania.
playing fast and loose over there.
It's out in Scottsdale, and awesome place in the world. So this is just their standard pale ale. They've got another one called 23 Stitches, and it refers to a track that's at the Derby race, close to where they are. And it was like a limited edition they did called 23 Stitches. So, and it's saying it's as refreshing and daring as the ride itself. Our pale ale is like the Blue Derby Trail. It's named after. And I looked it up, and I looked up the track that they're referencing, what they made this special edition pale ale for.
So
And it's
not the beer we're drinking.
No,
this
I'm getting
other
to
beer.
it. Yeah, this is one of their other pale ales. They do too.
Yeah.
And it's a fast descending jump trail littered with dirt jumps, rollers, and tabletops, whatever that means. And it's extremely difficult in the extremely difficult category. But
I
that's
think
just.
we should do it.
Yeah.
I think we could do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beer Baby special. Let's go.
Yeah, and we'll record the whole thing,
Yeah.
and we'll have the cameras on the bikes, and
Yeah, I have a GoPro.
done, easy.
Perfect.
But no, that's just that's one of their pale ales. The one I got today is their standard pale ale, which is it's a pale ale with an American style hop. It's a hop forward tasting beer. It's got a straw like appearance, and it's balanced, and it's got a kind of a hop. It's got a high hop and bright hop aroma, and it's got restricted bitterness. So they're kind of trying to bring the bitterness down, and it's also got tropical citrus fruit flavors, which I'm definitely tasting.
Because I was going to say I'm not getting the citrus. I feel like the two bays I'm getting more fruity, whereas this is sort of more. They've got that hoppy sort of beer flavor. So I think this is nice. This is really good. But I think as far as drinkability, I would probably actually drink more of the two bays.
Yeah.
But this has definitely got a fuller flavour.
It is. It's a stronger flavour. It doesn't have much bitterness though, but compared to the two bays has almost got no bitterness.
Yeah, particularly when you stack it up against this. But I think that's probably what makes the two bays more drinkable for me.
I think that's just what gluten is. It just must be
bitter.
bitterness.
Really. Let's go to our gluten expert. Declan, is gluten bitter?
Kind of.
Do you want to talk into the mic?
Yeah, kind of.
So what do you think of the two beers, Deck?
I think I prefer the one with gluten in it.
Okay.
I'm a gluten purist. So.
Really? That's
Wow.
interesting because I thought you'd be the other way because definitely the Little Rivers is definitely more beery in flavour than the two bays.
I think maybe this just tastes, like Tasmania.
Yeah, tastes like home.
Tastes like home.
Hang on.
Sorry, I don't want any mainlanders coming here and ruining my beers.
Declan, is this because you're a baker and you just love gluten?
Yeah,
Is that
I reckon
it?
that's it?
Gluten in his pores, man.
probably.
So
And I sweat gluten.
So I know you've already reviewed this beer once before, Jack. But maybe I feel like I probably skipped over it because that. If people haven't gone back, they should go back and watch the other one. What are your thoughts on the two base pale?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best, probably the best gluten-free beer that I've had to date.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just nice. It's different. I normally drink cider,
Yeah.
which is a lot sweeter, and it's a good change, especially. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you had much in the way, like since we did the last episode, have you had much in the way of different gluten-free beers, or have you just sort of stuck to
Well,
this?
I just stuck with those because I really liked them.
Yeah, sick.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's why we're here today, to try a couple other ones as
Yeah,
well. And
exactly.
maybe find a new favorite. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. So while we're looking for a new favorite, let's I don't know if it's worth doing. Are we going to do the 6-pack test, boys? Or I feel like we've talked about it enough. Maybe we'll pick which one of the two of the same style beer we like more.
So if someone were to present with you 2 6-packs,
Oh my god!
one was 2 bays and the other one was Little River's Pale Ale, which one would you accept and which one would you politely decline?
I take them both.
I'll take them both. Thank you very much, sir, and please come again.
It's tough. I think I would, each of these I would have at a different moment. If I was just going for hard drinking, I'd probably go the 2 bays. But I think maybe the Little Rivers tastes better, but I don't think I could drink as much. What about you, Dick?
I agree completely. I feel like I could probably have maybe 2 of these, where I could probably have 4 of the other ones because it's a lot easier drinking.
Yeah, a lot milder.
Well, I don't want to be 3-way concur, but yeah, one's a sessionable beer, and the other one's just a little bit more full-flavoured and more sit back and actually enjoy the beer. So it's a tough one. Again, I'll take both 6-packs though.
Yeah. So,
Jack, what do you reckon? You can't compare them though.
yeah. So
Out of
I
our
have the
opinions,
bias.
which one would you?
I don't know. They sound like 2 different beers. That's what I'm hearing, and it makes sense. Yeah.
So I think what we'll do with you, Jack, is when we get to the end, it'll be you'll have to choose out of 3 different 6-packs.
Yeah.
Which one you're going to accept?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I thought next we'll move on to something. It's hot off the press. It's a new release. So I doubt you would have tried
Ooh.
this before. So this is actually the 2 Bays Draft.
I heard about it. Yeah, but I haven't had it yet.
It's pretty exciting because I feel like I'm pretty biased because I've only drunk Bows, but like it's really exciting that you're going to get to taste a really shitty beer.
Because that's exactly what draft is.
I really like
shit
I
beer.
really like the can, but I know
Yeah, the can looks awesome.
It's a sharp can.
Feel the can. It's
Yeah.
texture.
Oh man, it's
Like,
ribbed.
we got
That's-
2 of these bad boys.
Yeah.
too.
Oh, wow.
It's ribbed
So-
for your pleasure.
Does that mean
That's
Jack gets
insane.
2 cans to drink?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited to do this because it'll be interesting to see how they go with the draft, because draft to me is so just in case people aren't aware, it is extremely rainy here, and I feel like it's just started bucketing.
It smells like Bogues, right?
Yeah.
It does. It smells like
Jack, that's what we can get you to do. You can smell
I'll
the
give it a
2,
smell test,
and you can give
yeah.
them a smell rating.
Hell yeah.
The beer that I've got to go up against the 2 Bays Draft is the only draft worth talking about. Okay, this is Tassie through and through. You cut me, I bleed. Bogues Draft.
I love how your whole voice dropped an octave.
Oh, it's gotta.
Yeah.
It's gotta when you talk about Bogues.
when you talk
You
about
go into the pub
But-
and you're ordering a beer.
Yeah.
Your voice goes down an octave. Can I have a Bogues?
Give me your Bogues.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. But hey, if you want to know all about Bogues, we actually interviewed Nathan, the head brewer of Bogues. And yeah, it was actually an awesome chat. So I'm sure you'll be able to find that episode on our channel. We've got a lovely bottle of Bogues here.
Where'd you find that in the gutter?
No, I think you left it here.
Yeah,
So
I did.
Jack,
It's just tap water.
Jack, can
just
you
tap-
pour
yeah.
a couple of those out? And I've actually got some information about drafts for you, Jack. So I'll start with the 2 Bays. So 2 Bays say on their website that they launched this beer in September of 2021. It's clean, crisp, refreshing, and it's also endorsed by Celiac Australia. This is all beer, no gluten. The gluten-free GFB draft slab is available on their website. So they don't have lots of information. But I was thinking, because you're not a big beer guy, Jack, you probably wouldn't know this, but a draft actually is the term for a beer that's served from a keg or a cask rather than in a bottle or a can.
Okay.
So draft beer is served from a pasteurized keg, it's also known as keg beer. The word draft has been used in marketing terms to describe can and bottles beer, implying that they taste and appear to be from a cask, but they're actually not. Commercial brewers use this as a marketing tool, although it is incorrect to call any beer not drawn from a cask or a keg draft.
Yeah.
In some countries,
Makes me furious.
Yeah.
So mad about it. You're so fake.
Technicality.
He's always talking about it. So in some countries, such as Japan, the term draft is actually applied to canned and bottled beer, and it indicates that it's not pasteurized. And that is supposed to give it a fresher taste but a shorter shelf life.
Pasteurized. What are they putting milk?
Yeah, exactly.
They put milk in their
They're
beer?
running it through milk. So we've got our 2 bays draft and our Bogues draft, and what do we? So Jack, you did the smell test. What do you think?
It smells like a Bogues. Like if you go to the bar and someone pours out a Bogues, that's exactly.
Does it smell
what
like
it
this
smells
fake
like.
draft that isn't from a tap?
They smell pretty much the same.
I think they.
Yeah.
I also think there's definitely a difference in the taste, but
Well, they look
it's-
different too.
it's-
Show
yeah,
the camera
they,
that.
They look different, but I don't think they taste that different.
Which one's which?
Yeah, exactly. So this is Bogues, and this is the 2 bays. I don't think they taste that different.
I tell you what though, I'm drinking from Jackie's too. I'm drinking from the can, and that texture that I loved earlier, it's not so good on the bottom lip.
Yeah.
It's like sandpaper.
Yeah, it's like sanding my
Billy-
bottom lip
Billy,
down.
you don't have to put your loop on the bottom of the can.
That is
I just taste-
fantastic for sore eyes.
I just tasted everyone who ever touched this can.
Yeah.
Delicious.
And you loved it. So, Deck, speaking of loving it, what do you think of these 2 drafts?
I'm thinking that I've grown up a lot since the last time I've had a Bogues draft or just a draft of any kind, because, man, I used to hate these beers. Absolutely hated them. But I'm finding that it's not the worst beer in the world, I think.
You want to know?
I'm running out of room. That's what I'm thinking.
The way that the biggest praise I can give to this is whenever I drink a draft beer, like whenever I drink Bogues, I get like a sick feeling right here, like I don't like it. There's something my body like can't deal with it. And the biggest gold star I can give to the 2 bays is it's doing the same thing. It's making my body think it's a draft.
Is it like a burpee sensation because of like it's so
I don't know
fizzy
what it
when
is.
you first pour it?
I honestly think it's sort of like a learned reaction. Like my body is actively trying to protect itself.
Whoa.
Because when I get to drinking Bogues, it means I must be shit faced because I've got no ability to choose a better beer. And yet, I feel like this is doing exactly what this is doing in
Wow.
that weird bodily reaction.
Wow, Inception beers.
Yeah. What do you think, Bill, about the 2 up against each other?
So it's doing that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what a draft does to you when you pour it from the tap. So, I don't know. This has got like that kind of a bitteriness aftertaste, it's kind of like a sharpness to the tongue. This doesn't have it as much. I think this is a little bit more enjoyable. Not as
definitely.
that one's a very like heavy kind of, and I feel like the people who drink this, I shouldn't stereotype. Oh, that's all I should say.
Yeah. So Billy, do you think they taste similar?
No.
Okay.
I think they're the same type of beer, but they definitely don't taste the same. I think this one is we're just burping like crazy.
So much. What about you, Dick? Because I think I don't know. I think I probably said before they taste similar, but Billy's probably more right in this case.
There's a first.
They feel similar, like I'm experiencing them the same way, even though they don't taste the same. What do you
weird
think?
how you're both holding them up to your
Yeah,
face.
What do you think, Jack?
I would agree. I'm also getting to that sort of level where these beers are starting to affect me. So I don't have much to say.
Jack,
Yeah.
before we say which one we think is better, as your first experience of a draft, how is it? It's so fun to be here for like
to
your
be
first
fair,
ever draft.
Yeah.
This was the
it's
first
exciting.
ever beer that I ever tried as well, and I hated it. So if you hate it, it's fine.
Baby's
I-
first beer.
That's
Yeah.
true. I feel like 2 kilos heavier after drinking
Oh
that.
my, that's
It is like
Yeah.
weighing me down. I can really feel it. But you know, it tastes nice. Yeah, I have to wait till the end for the results on which one's the best. But it's different. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I hate draft. I don't think I've ever really said that I hate a beer well, I've said I hate individual beers, but a type of beer draft I don't like at all. And this
This is heavy.
it's
bro.
like a whole body experience.
It's like drinking lead.
yeah.
Dude.
Out of these two, I would definitely go the 2 bays. It's got a milder taste, but it's got that exact same draft feel. Like it's filling me up. And I'm gonna throw to the boys so I can just go burp off camera. So what about you, Bill?
Yeah, they're very similar. Like, I think if you are enjoying a draft, you will enjoy either of these beers. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna pick the gluten-free one for the same reason you did, Will, because it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit less intense, and it's not so much as drinking lead, but maybe drinking mercury. So like not as heavy. So I'm gonna go the gluten-free one.
And Declan, you look like you're barely awake over there.
Yep.
Just having a little nap.
Can you just sum up the draft for us?
I agree. No, they're both the same drink. Just one tastes better, I guess.
Yeah, which one tastes better? That's all I want to know.
That's all we're here to find
The
out.
gluten-free one.
Yeah. Okay.
Easy done.
So it's 1-1. As far as we're concerned, Jack is waiting to the end to give his final judgment, which I think
We'll
is very
find out.
mature. But I think it's time. I think we're gonna call it a day right here. I think we're going to
Have a nap.
Yeah,
Have a bit of a
we're gonna
lie
have
down.
You know
I'm
what?
excited for that.
We are going to come back next week and we're going to finish this off, okay? Because we've got a super exciting beer lined up, and I actually cannot wait because I think this is one of my favorite types of beer. So that might be a little insight to the real babies out there who follow us quite closely. But
This dude right here.
I'm really
Biggest
looking
fan.
forward to it. But we need to have a break. Maybe draft in the middle is not a good idea. But anyway, this has been so much fun. We've had a great time, obviously.
Yeah.
Jack, thank you so much for jumping on.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Exactly. Boys, thanks for coming along again.
No problem.
Jack, you look fucked.
You're welcome.
I didn't have much to eat today. I had 2 toasted sandwiches, and that's about it.
Okay, very good. So that's about it for us. This is a cliffhanger. You know, how does it end? Which beer's the best? Well, if you want to find out, make sure you've liked and subscribed because we will be coming at you next week with the final answer.
Hit the bell for notifications on the next Beer Babies upload.
Now we're talking. Thanks, Jack. All right, Beer Babes. We will see you next time. See ya.
Ciao for now.